Greg Braden does an excellent job in
Yep.
discussing how the patterns of the
You guys know what
fractals
fractals
work.
are? Definitely get this movie. It's called Fractal Recursions. Buy it on Amazon. I highly recommend it, by Jock Cooper. Fractals are the operating system of this reality. If you want to know the very, very, very last thing that exists in 3D reality, go look at a fractal. And all it is how spirals interact with other spirals, and they're all one big spiral. And if you zoom into one spiral, you see that it's made up of millions of other spirals. And you zoom into those, and there's millions of other spirals. You're all spirals. You're all little spirals on the great fractal of the matrix. And each of you is dancing with each other in this great dance. And the Earth has a fractal, and the Sun has a fractal, and they're larger and smaller fractals. All of us are the same, and deep down, and for a moment we may shine with the splendiferous of our individuality, but we will always fall back in to the spiral pattern of life. And fractals are amazing. I've just finished a new film called Infinity, which will be out in a couple months, which goes into fractal dynamics and the whole how death is really a re-immersion into the fractal reality, and that you come back out of it to live, and you go back into it, and all of that. Yeah?
Yeah, I heard you on Mike Hagan's show once, and you said December 21st, 2012, you'd want to be at the foot of the Sphinx. I was wondering if you could expand on that and why there versus...
Yeah, the only reason I want to be at the foot of the Sphinx is because at the beginning of Fulcanelli's book, the alchemist is standing at the feet of the Sphinx looking east on the day of December 21st, 2012. And so I wanted to be there, but I will say this. In my investigation, I didn't get into in this talk, of the Cross of Henday, it does give you a place of refuge, an actual place where you can go, where the disaster that's coming at us will not happen. Now I could tell you that, and then I'd lose all my book sales.
Okay, any other questions?
But it's in Cusco, Peru, by the way. We got all sorts of shit.
I was wondering if there was one best reference source on the internet that will help us concoct the way to open the pineal gland more.
You're definitely after that pineal gland thing. That's good. Let's see, you know who Montauk Chia is? Montauk Chia goes into it. I've had a lot of email exchanges with him. To be honest with you, it's coming out on sacredmysteries.com. What happened is there's a lot of people that know this, but we're all afraid to release it because everybody dies. I hate to say it, but every time somebody releases a secret, they end up dying. And a lot of us actually like life. And but now is the time for courage. So everyone is just decided to release a secret. I'm saying far more now than I said a year ago. Every day I get a little braver, a little closer to the edge. But Robert Cox, who's a practical alchemist, he has been told by the masters that he's not going to make it to 2012. So he's thrown out everything and has decided to release it and doesn't care. And, what can I tell you? Yeah.
Well, this is a question that I've been thinking about, and I guess your fractals is a good way to move into it. We're talking about so many people leaving in this era, or dying or passing on. And the next question, and this whole fight about who's staying and how awful it will be and how you can be courageous and maybe you'll stay. But what about if you do pass on? I mean, so what? What's the next, what in this is your next assumption or thoughts about what happens after you do die during this time?
After you die?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't die. There's no death.
That's right. So
you're an immortal being. There's nothing to be afraid of.
So the whole fear thing.
It's all BS.
Right. That's what I mean. Okay.
Can you imagine somebody pointing a gun at you and saying, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to kill you? And you go, do it, Dad. Like, go for it. You know, what are you going to do? You know, nothing scared the red Chinese more than when they invaded Tibet and all the monks just went, kill me. What the hell? I can't deal with this. You know? And when the Gnostics were killed by the church at Montségur, in 1350, they came down from the top of the mountain, all the Gnostics, and they threw themselves in the fire that the Romans had made for them. And the Roman soldiers, mostly Germans and Italians, were watching this. These people throwing themselves into the fire. You know, thinking, oh, we're going to torture these people. And they stopped us from being able to torture them, you know, like Dick Cheney or something. And, you know, and guess what happened? Like half of the army converted to Gnosticism. They were so impressed by the bravery of this. So, you know, like that's what I'm saying about Joan of Arc. All you need is one person to be courageous, and we will follow. It's just that we're so afraid to take that first step in courage. And another thing you need to do is, you know what? You got to say your piece. You're at a party or something, and somebody says something you know it's not right. Don't stand there and be polite and let them make a falsehood on the world. Correct them. I say, that's not right. You shouldn't be saying that. So we're divine creatures. We live forever. You know? Try to scare us, this crap. It's just, I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of people trying to scare me. I like, after 9/11, everybody was walking around like timid little mice. And I was like, come on. You know, you got to be kidding. You know, you're going to let yourself be terrorized by 19 nitwits, if they even did it, you know, and, you know, just forget it. Even the people, you know, I feel sorry for the people that died in 9/11, but they didn't die. So I guess my time is up. Is that right? Yep.
It's time for lunch.
Okay, good.
For more information about Jay's work, visit sacredmysteries.com. This was a production at www.lostartsmedia.com. Thank you for watching.